Hi, it's Sharon Lipinski, the Habit Superhero, and welcome to the Habit Huddle, where I share a quick tip, an insight, or a strategy that you can use to master your habits. Because the only thing that is standing between you and the life you want are the good habits you wish you had and the bad habits you wish you didn't. This week, we're talking about why your willpower fails you. Your willpower isn't always there for you when you need it. And you don't have to take my word for that. You can gauge this on your own personal experience. Haven't there been times when it's easy to call on your willpower and resist that temptation, and then sometimes, your willpower is nowhere to be found? I know that if somebody brings a box of donuts into the office, I can walk right past them with no problem the first time. And then the second time I walk past them, I'm slowing down a little bit and I'm counting how many donuts are left in that box. And then I find a reason to walk past the box of donuts again, and this time I cut the donut in half because I'm just gonna have a half a donut. All right, let's get real. We both know I'm gonna eat that entire donut because sometimes it's easy to call on your willpower and sometimes it's not. Sometimes it fails you. Now, for a discussion on what willpower is, refer to my video, Willpower versus Habits. But right now, we're going to talk about the 3 reasons why your willpower fails you. So the first reason is that your willpower is empty. So if you think about willpower like the tank of gasoline in your car, you know that if you don't put more gas in your tank and you keep driving around, well, eventually you're going to run out of gas. Well, the same is true for your willpower. You get 1 tank of willpower for everything. So every time you resist an impulse, every time you say the nice thing, when you wanted to let somebody know what you really felt, every time you force yourself to deal with that email that has been hanging out in the bottom of your inbox for months because you just haven't wanted to deal with it. All of the hundreds of tiny decisions that you're making all day long, well, they're draining that tank of willpower. So sometimes your willpower isn't there for you because you've just plain used it up. You have to refill that willpower tank. The second reason is that your willpower tank has been drained with physical stress. So if you remember back to the Willpower versus Habits video, we talked about willpower being a form of mental energy. That's true, but it runs on glucose and sleep. So if you're tired and hungry, you're running on fumes, and you know this because you've had the experience. You've been hangry, right? You're hungry, and it is much more difficult to restrain the impulse to snap at somebody because your willpower tank is not operating at its full capacity. At the end of a long, hard day, especially if you did not get a good night's sleep the night before, it is so much harder to stick to your healthy eating goals and eat a salad because what you really want are macaroni and cheese and brownies. That's your body craving to be refueled. Willpower is mental energy fueled by your body. So if your body doesn't have what it needs, it is going to be so much harder for you to call on that willpower. Now, another thing that is going to drain that willpower tank is emotional stress. So if you're worried about something and these thoughts are going over and over in your mind, what am I going to do if my boss, my spouse, my mother-in-law, my kids, but how am I going to pay all my bills? I'm trying to eat healthy, and if I go to this event, what if there's food there I know I shouldn't eat? Or I'm trying not to drink alcohol. What if they're serving beer there? Right? Every time you pick a thought up and you put it back down, it is draining your tank of willpower. This is like idling your car, right? You're not going anywhere, you're not doing anything, but you are burning up that valuable willpower fuel. So here's real life willpower failure in action. You go to the grocery store, you load up your cart, and the last thing that you have to pass before you can check out and leave are the candy bar displays. And sometimes it's not a problem. Sometimes I'm not fazed by it at all. But I have also been known to stand in line, eat the candy bar while I'm waiting to check out, and hand over an empty wrapper to be scanned. Because if you walk into that store tired and hungry, your account is drained with physical stress. If you have to deal with a screaming toddler while you're in the store, that account is drained with emotional stress. If you have to make so many decisions while you're in the store, you can drain your account with usage. And the grocery stores know this about us. They know that our willpower tanks may not be operating at their full capacity, and it's going to be much harder for us to resist this temptation, to resist these impulse buys. See, the problem is that you can know all of the right things to do, but if you're relying on your willpower and motivation to make it happen, you're going to fail over and over again. Whether it's because you're tired, hungry, stressed out, busy, or whatever the reason, your brain will eventually follow the path of least resistance. And that path isn't what you should do, what you need to do, what you have to do. That path is your habits. And that is why you want to create good habits. Thanks for watching the Habit Huddle. If you enjoyed this episode, click the thumbs up. And if you want more tips on mastering your habits, click subscribe. Leave your comments, your questions, your challenges that you're experiencing creating your own habits, and I'll answer them in a future video.